The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh my word, everyone. Hi, welcome to the Changeling portion of Queen's Gambit, where we will see a lovely group of Kithane totally have a normal stroll. If you all wouldn't mind, I would love to introduce my cast for this.
Hello, I'm Ree, and I will be playing Carlos, Seely Arcadian She.
Hello, I'm Erin, pronouns she, they, they. I'll be playing Verity Connor of House Fiona, Seely Troll, she, her.
Hi, I'm Sackshire. I'm going to be playing the unseelie satyr named Luxie Lorella.
Hello, everyone. I'm House. I will be playing Elmer Postalwaite, the Seely Slua.
Hi, I'm Beetle Spock, and I'll be playing Roy Greenway, the Seely Boggin.
And hi, I am your ever magnanimous and ever-present storyteller, Maddox, and I will be playing everything else. Not everyone else, everything else. There is a null zone in the middle of Milwaukee. It is a pain in the ass for all the supernaturals in one way or another. It's especially dangerous for changelings. Any changeling who spends significant time within starts to disenchant and lose their glamour. And some have even seen from outside the zone as other kith completely disenchanted entirely. Reenchantment is still a possibility, but none have attempted it yet, as it seems to be taking quite a lot to get people back. Thus began the ever noticeable crusade of the Baroness Lady Igraine ap Ilunid of the House of Secrets. She does not understand the Null Zone, and she hates it. She's been trying to get people together to work and get actual proper interest in her cause, but the rest of the court is busy with other matters. Until a vampire reached out. And a council has been formed. People have met. And there is now actual push and purpose behind Lady Igraine's mission. Standing at the shore of Lake Michigan is two people. One is a she-woman, dark hair, Long black trench coat stops just a little past her knees. London fog, expensive as shit. And next to her, there is a person who the androgyny is too strong to guess if there's any one gender or not. But regardless, they stand there in a simple, nice blue hoodie and jeans and look honestly more bored as small bits of chimerical salt water drop off of them. There are several cars that pull up, whether you all came in your personal vehicles or if you were driven or carpooled. But you all pull up relatively the same moment. And as you're stepping out of the cars, let's start with Elmer. What do you look like?
Elmer is tall, slender, well-groomed, wearing a black quarter zip, black slacks, tied up, very reserved, a little newsy cap, and behind him pops out a little companion, if you'd like to describe him, storyteller.
One of the most quintessential examples of an English bulldog anyone has ever seen follows Elmer out, gets down, its paws angled more inward than forward as he shakes his mutton chops. Always reminds me of the Thames. Elmer, you're fairly sure he hasn't been to England.
If you say so. Good boy.
I am, aren't I?
Elmer would look around to see if there's
You-
anyone else. Meeting.
You see the Baroness and her assistant, paramour, consort. There's a lot of rumors and words going around, and no one's really sure what their relationship is. Just that lately, Tegan, who is the Selkie that is next to her, has just been helping her and working alongside her for stuff. No one's really sure what their whole deal is.
I'd approach slowly.
As you approach, Carlos, what do you look like?
Carlos is a incredibly beautiful man with dark bronze skin and thick locks that kind of go all the way down to just above his buttocks. He's wearing a black suit, and next to him would be, or far enough away for the titled characters, would be a person carrying two objects. One would be a sword, and another would be a spear.
All right. And the attendant seems to just be standing here, to use a modern word, a very demure fashion. Probably not used in the same context. And they will hold the spear and sword out to you.
Do I know the proper address for a baron or baroness, rather?
In this case, it would be lady. Or
Good evening,
baroness.
lady.
Just the actual title works too.
Good evening, baroness. I hope you are well tonight.
I'm doing just fine, Sir Knights. Anticipating some things. I'll wait until you're all gathered before I describe too much. Roy, what do you look like as you step out of the vehicle?
I'm a bit on the shorter side, maybe 5'5" for a masculine fellow. Got a similar hat to Elmer. He's got like a patchwork jeans. Literally has like patchwork on it. Kind of not too messy. Trying to get all the dust off of his jacket and the green shirt underneath. Nose maybe slightly more bulbous in his true changeling form under the guise of magic. And he's carrying this twisted cane or shillelagh, and you see he walks with a limp. but he has a very warm presence to him, and he always has those lines or smiles, and he's always walking up. Hello. I hope everything's well with all of you.
We cannot complain, at least not yet. Lexi, what do you look like?
Lexi just came from an event at the museum. So she's wearing her wonderful attire as well as steps out of a very nice car and very slowly, just almost regally walks up. Good evening, or hello, Lady Baroness.
Good to see you, dear.
And you as well.
And the Selkie next to her just gives a
hi.
And to wrap things up in a beautiful Kithane bow, Verity Connor.
Verity pulls up an electric motorcycle that, if you've never heard before, they sound cyberpunk as fuck. She hops off. She makes the motorcycle look small. Lady Dimitrescu wishes she had the mommy energy that radiates off of Verity. She's just under 8 feet tall, blue skin as almost all trolls have, and the swollest troll you ever seen in your life.
Yes, like her muscle definition is almost frightening. Almost.
She strolls up to the Baroness. Baroness, so lovely to see you. Happy to be here.
Verity, thank you so much for answering the call. It's always good to see you.
I live to serve.
Now, first things first. I need you all to swear to me that you will share nothing of this venture should you come back, when you come back, for a year and a day.
I swear to you, whatever I learned today, I will not share with anyone ever.
She raises her eyebrow. I feel that may be a bit much, Mr. Postwaite. I don't need the information secret forever.
When information is mine.
Very well. And for the rest of you, as Elmer, you do feel that oath take proper hold.
Swear it will be as you say. No words shall be spoken to a soul for a year and a day.
Unless you feel the oath take.
And you have my word as well. I will not speak of anything for a year and a day as your request and command.
And then her eyes flick between the last two as well.
If it's a secret you want, and of course it will be a secret you shall have.
I don't think I need to tell you that a troll's word is their bond, so of course I swear.
And now that is all taken care of, and she doesn't stretch exactly, but you can tell that she is readjusting certain bits. She never does anything without purpose, but it was just a small movement. Now then, I want to get rid of that fucking null zone. I want it gone. I want it dead. I want it buried. Luckily, apparently, vampires have some common sense and want that as well. The leader, I believe she refers to herself as Queen Jacqueline, has set forth a council, as it were. Myself, herself, a representative of the werewolves, the mages. And we've been told, and she looks over at Tegan, who sort of gives a nod. Yeah, the ghosts are going to be doing stuff too. I don't think anyone's going to run into each other from the meeting that I had, but
So fate's intervened.
I guess you could say that.
Honey, we are fate. She slaps Elmer on the back. It's like the equivalent of someone patting you gently with a 2x4.
Now, I want it gone because it removes glamour and disenchants us.
Mm.
And the few that we have recovered are still not re-enchanted. That's the main reason I want it gone. But it's not the reason that and she puts her hand in a way that you can tell conveys a broader spectrum of the word. And most of the time when nobles do that, they're referring to their house. We want it gone for an entirely different reason. Underneath the school, where it hovers often, in a mirrored realm within the dreaming, is a vast source of cold iron.
Mm.
We already have excavation equipment at the ready. We just need to be able to get to it. And apparently the null zone has managed to lock part of the dreaming on itself. So it has a physical representation when the dreaming has no physical representation. But we can't get to it.
Do the others know about the cold iron?
The ones who need to know about it. And that now includes all of you. Your task is interesting. I won't say I envy it, but I don't know what will come of it. Aside from it will probably be a dangerous endeavor. You are to find a fragment or fragments, I'm uncertain as to how much, of what the werewolves refer to as a spirit or spirits. They, as far as I can deduce, are similar to Chimera, but not. They are not dream stuff. They are, it was explained to me as a sort of adapted animism. The trees have spirits, the rocks have spirits, the sky, things of that nature.
Mm.
Your job is to awaken these things. Because as it turns out, we already have the fragments. And she'll look over at Tegan, who will reach behind them and pull out a manila envelope with like the metal prongs at the top, break it in, and then dump out into their hand. You see an eagle feather and a claw from some sort of canine.
Hmm.
The feather of an eagle, the claw of a coyote. And Tegan will hand them both over to her, and she will then hold them out to the general group for whoever might want to inspect them or look at them.
I would like to.
With my eidetic memory, may there have been a past high tea where someone dropped maybe what seemed like inconsequential information or unrelated information that might spark anything related to what we're about to face?
You're not under any sort of stressful thinking, so I don't think I'd have to have you roll for it. You remember having high tea at one point with someone who said they were a werewolf, who talked a little bit about spirits and stuff like that? The description you've gotten, at least so far, the representational part is true as far as you can recall. You do know that the description of spirits being like Chimera is a little less accurate than you actually know. They're not like Chimera in the same way. There are Chimera that are similar, but there's more differences than there are similarities as far as you know.
So having similar interests, I guess, to werewolves, would I have more connection to them because of like the preservation of Earth? And
you know the general idea of what a spirit is. You're not sure how big of a scope they can run, because werewolves tend to be a bit secretive. I'm not sure why. So you have certain ideas and probably a little bit of know-how, but I wouldn't exactly say it's enough to like actually know what you guys are really doing and all that stuff. But she will place. It was Elmer and Roy who approached for the 2 items, right? She'll just hand one to each of you.
Yep.
Elmer, you get the feather. Roy, you get the claw.
May I use make some kind of roll? I'm pretty good with enigmas, investigation. May I make any roll to see if I can glean anything from this?
Investigation wouldn't be a bad shout. Another one that I could easily allow would be, where is it? Greymare. Which is essentially this game's version of the occult skill.
I will use. I mean, I'm good. I have the same amount of dots in both. Do you have? I can make one if you have another. If you're better in one versus the other, I'm the equal.
I'm actually equal as well in Greymare and investigation.
Same.
Then I'll do investigation.
Okay.
All right, so I have Greymare.
All right.
So what,
Diff 6 for both of you.
Intelligence, perception, what?
Let's do intelligence.
Okay. What was the difficulty again?
6 standard diff.
Standard.
Tens blow up, correct?
Indeed.
3 successes.
Okay.
5 successes.
All right, and you guys went for different skills, correct? One went
I did
invest,
Greymare.
one. Okay. For you, Roy, this claw is not normal. Like, it feels solid and, made of keratin or whatever it would be for a coyote. Like, it looks like an actual claw, but there is something. It's almost like it's over-defined when you look at it. Like, there is something mystical that is also reinforcing its existence.
Interesting.
Elmer, for the feather, when you hold it in certain directions, there is a slight shimmer to it. The sort of shimmer that you would maybe see reflected in like a soapy bowl of water. It's not exactly rainbowy, but it's reflective. Both of you can easily tell by looking at these things for any length of time, they're extraordinary. Even sort of putting off a faint bit of glamour, but not enough to be substantial.
Would anyone else like to take a look? Would anyone else like to take a look?
I would.
I will hand the feather to Lexi.
All right, you guys are passing the stuff around.
And I'll look at it.
Who would like the claw?
Verity will volunteer. She's very wise in these ways.
It's a claw. You've gotten scratched with some of these at some point, you're sure.
Verity nods sagely, like, yes.
Hmm.
And then passes it along very quickly.
Can I go ahead and roll the same investigation and was it intelligence? Mm-hmm.
Certainly you can.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to do that. And nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
It's an impressive bit of nature.
Mm.
Seems pretty natural as far as you can tell.
Kind of, it's pretty, but it's all I got. Who wants to take a look? Anyone else?
Sir, you were going to say something? Directing to Carlos.
I would like to, if we were to encounter the werewolves or the vampires, should we assume we are cooperating?
I am uncertain. I don't believe you will encounter them. I believe, as far as I have heard and gleaned, most of the trouble will come from within. I've heard rumors that certain kith have found out that there is an alliance with vampires, and they're not exactly happy. Various small cell organizations, I believe.
So to expect some problems from our own kind, essentially.
It could be assumed, although where you're going will have its own challenges as well.
Mm.
And where are we going?
The dreaming.
Mm.
That is where we have discovered the problem. And she points at the two pieces. Those are the actual fragments to be delivered. We found them in a drawer in my freehold. They are dormant, however.
Mm.
Asleep.
Do we expect that to change once we enter the dreaming?
Potentially. I believe they will not do too much on their own until reunited with their actual selves. I spoke with the werewolf leader and was told that spirits can slumber, so it is possible. And we've tried using oniromancy to pull them back, but they're not moving. Almost like there's something between us and them.
Mm.
So we are sending in a group to see if they can be retrieved that way. Upon completion of this task and with the pieces recharged, or whatever the term would be, and returned to me, mission complete. At which point, I believe you all know of House Dougal. One of their smiths is under me, and I can have him forge anything you would like. I also have decent influence within our society if you wish something from me.
You know what it is I look for.
Indeed. But whatever choices, whatever wants, whatever desires you do require of me, it can all be said once you return. And for any of you who may not return, thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. With any luck, Les Cathane will be disenchanted by the time it is done.
Don't worry, Baroness. I'll bring them all back safe and sound.
That note, we probably should divide them and not keep them both with one person.
That would probably be wise.
If you would like, and she gestures over to Tegan, who reaches behind their back again and takes out two much smaller envelopes, one that will just fit the feather and one that will just fit the claw, and just hands it out to whoever has each. And then your dear Baroness reaches into her pocket and takes out what looks to be an antique compass.
Oh, how lovely.
And she holds it out to you, Luxie. Open it.
Oh, it's so beautiful. She opens it up.
And it's even inside, it's a pretty standard compass. It's when they were cut out from illustrated paper instead of like spinning metal. And it spins in a gentle circle for a few seconds before immediately pointing off in a direction. And if you move, the arrow doesn't, so it's still pointing in the same direction regardless of where you're standing.
My, looks like it's directing us one particular direction, guys.
It's pointing you directly towards Lake Michigan, which you guys are on the shore of.
That
Sounds
way.
like we'll have some fun.
That is a special item. An Ishu man offered up a drop of his blood for its creation. It tells you where you need to go and is your only lifeline to get out of the dreaming easily, so I would recommend not losing it.
You never mentioned we would have to go on water.
Oh, no, no, no. There will be no on water to speak of. In fact, and she pats Tegan on the shoulder, I leave you in the capable hands of our dear envoy. And then she just starts walking, doesn't get in a car or anything. She just starts taking a stroll along Lake Michigan. Tegan sort of looks off. Ah, man, that queen is something else, huh?
So elegant.
She's a crazy squire, though, I swear.
Anybody else want to take a look at this compass?
Yes, please.
She hands it over to you.
I've met the Ishu who offered up his blood for it. It's a nice little compass there.
It's very nice.
Sort of does what they all do, where they just don't get lost.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's like we
heard
have one
about
with
that.
us.
So, first things first. Are any of you total chicken shit pussy cowards?
Of course not.
Yeah, you say that.
Hmm.
But I don't mean like false.
Fiona,
I don't mean
I
false.
assure you.
Okay, you'll be fine. I don't mean no false bravado shit. I mean like actual like, are you someone who's gonna fucking scream and run when shit gets crazy?
That's not the reason I scream, so no.
Verity tilts her head down until it's level with Tegan to like let her know how like confused she is by this question.
And then they'll also redirect their attention towards Elmer and Roy as well.
Elmer will just open his jacket that has lots of pockets, reach into one, pull out a bit of Stilton cheese, and just drop it down to his companion. We're fine.
It's gone as soon as it hits the ground.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, we got his love. Don't you worry.
Everyone has their fears, and we just have to see what each other's true strengths.
Very well. Then would you all like to start on the first bit of bullshit in your journey? We are going to a trod to get into the dreaming. It is a secret trod. Try not to tell people about it. Yes.
Oh, great. Can I bring my bike?
Can you bring a bike underwater?
It's magical?
Have you brought it underwater before?
No. It flies though.
Personally, I wouldn't risk it because it will add even more weight to someone who is already a fucking colossus. So, up to you if you want to try, but know that you're the one hauling that shit. I'm not.
I didn't want some exhaust from some machine just clogging up in the water anyway.
It's electric. What are you even talking about?
I didn't look at it. My apologies.
Take it and accept it.
Before we set out, do you all mind giving in a brief explanation of your talent?
Oh, I'm a smuggler. There are many connections to the ocean through many lakes. And as a Selkie, I can swim very well.
Should a fight begin, will you participate? Or are you
Oh, no.
only here to guide?
I'm only here to guide, and only to the dreaming. After you get in, I just have to wait for you to get back.
The rest of you?
Is this a serious question?
We haven't
Yeah.
left, have we?
I can't tell if you're joking.
I do not joke about serious matters.
Oh, okay. Let me demonstrate. She's just going to pick Carlos up and bench him with one arm.
And being in physical contact, with him, Verity, Carlos, if there's no struggle or anything like that.
No, that's fine.
Verity, you do start to notice that one way that you and this she are similar is that you're both sort of doing the subtle noble thing where there's house colors. Those colors are identical to yours.
Oh no. Oh God. She sets you down immediately. I didn't realize you're part of House Fiona. My apologies.
It is fine. About the rest of you, briefly. Would like to know how to use our skills quickly and efficiently.
Mhm.
What to
I will
say?
say,
Go ahead.
thank you. I would say I'm a satyr, so I have some physical prowess, stamina for years, I can promise, some physical abilities that give my sensual side a more advanced and creative use. But in addition, I also can be rather convincing, as well as bring out the beast in things, people, creatures. So I have a physical attribute aspect of fighting, and these horns aren't just for gorgeous looks. So I can fill two sides of your needed coin.
And Tegan just mutters under their breath, "Oh, she's versatile."
Very.
I think she's talking about sex.
Mm.
Verity whispers to Carlos.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything you need.
Perhaps later.
Mhm. I'll remember that if you come out alive.
For what?
Tegan,
Elman?
Tegan then also glances towards the last two, more excited.
I have a deep reverence for the spring and renewal of nature. And some elements as well as under my command. Of course, I have my trusty walking stick to help me move around. And I am quite educated. I am a sustainable architect, so I know some about structures. So I don't know how use would be inside of dreaming, but I guess we'll see.
It's my job to know things. I deal in knowledge and secrets. And if there's something I don't know or need to find, it's my job to find it. He can speak for himself.
I'm just here. You know.
Good boy.
You're a
That's
cute
all.
little thing.
Yeah,
I-
something to think about, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
In that case,
Can I pet his mutton chops?
You see him look up, and then as much as he can, sort of like stretch upwards so that you can reach.
Oh yeah, she drops her big ass down to stroke the mutton chops.
Oh, your hands are covered in chimerical drool afterwards.
She just wipes
Nah.
on her tank top. Just
I pull some camembert out of a different pocket and feed it to him.
It's gone in seconds again.
In this case, I suggest we take a wedge formation with troll and satyr on either side, and I will.
you can
take
just
the
call
lead.
me Verity, not Troll. It's fine. Dame
give
Verity,
my-
technically, but it's fine if you don't use the
Huh?
title. I don't mind.
And you can call
Yes.
me Luxie.
Does anyone have issues with that?
That's my preference. I prefer you all behind me so you don't get in the way.
Tegan will stretch up, and as they do, you hear all the knuckles on their hands crack all at once. Which is a little odd to see someone with webbed fingers crack their knuckles. Okay.
I kind of hate that visual.
All right. You all ready for the first leg?
Always.
Is that a joke?
Either way.
Well, yes, it is a joke, but also, and they tip backwards, and right as they hit the water, you see their hoodie shift, fold, and wrap around them very quickly. And by the time they make a splash, they are a seal.
Oh, look how cute.
And then the seal's head pops up and just gives a, like, get in here sort of motion.
Just takes his weapons and follows.
Sploosh. Okay.
You didn't forget
I
how to
stumble
doggy
in.
paddle, did you?
Say that again. How sorry?
You didn't forget how to doggy paddle, did you?
Please. You think I can't handle a bit of water? And he waddles into the water.
Verity looks longingly at her motorcycle and then hops in.
And as you all start your descent, it's actually fairly easy to keep eyes on the seal. They're not swimming especially fast. Keep constantly checking back to make sure everyone's still there. And yeah, it's fucking freezing because it's like fucking Michigan. There's no Edmund Fitzgerald history, but this lake has its own demons, its own death, its own problems. And you all get about 10 feet before they start rearing their heads. If I could please get I'm going to say wits and willpower roll, please. Permanent willpower. Difficulty is 7.
You
So,
could roll those together.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a weird ST.
May I use my know my surroundings specialty with wits?
Certainly. Although you can use it, although I will say thematically, it won't have the effect I think you're intentionally using it for, but it will help.
Okay.
You
I've
said
got-
I'm rolling.
Go ahead.
sorry, Matt. You said difficulty 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have danger sense.
Which means that I think danger sense has a reduction.
Yes, it's off of alertness though.
Same.
Oh, in this case, then it wouldn't apply.
It would not. Okay.
For some reason, I have headed for wits.
Cool headed would definitely help with this effect.
Okay. So we're doing our wits and all of our dots and willpower. Or
7
just-
successes.
Yes, your whatever you have in wits, whatever you have in permanent willpower, not your spent stuff.
Yeah.
Say that again, House.
7 successes.
7 successes. Beautiful.
Do 10 explode if you don't have a specialty?
No,
No.
they do not.
I have 4.
Okay.
6.
5.
Okay. Well, actually, for you two, it would have been weird because you're Fiona. But
well.
and Roy, what was your number again?
For what? I haven't.
Oh, you haven't yet. Okay.
You said difficulty 7, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then remember, ones take away successes because they love
Yes,
to be
they do.
mean.
Oh, then that would make me at a 3.
Okay.
No, before.
Okay. You all resist it. As you start to swim further down, Tegan, well, the seal's not freaking out. It's just swimming. But you all start to feel. First, it starts with a taste. Taste, metal, and warmth. It's a bit wet, but not liquid. You all probably have had it at some point, but it honestly tastes like blood. Coppery, thick, bit too warm. Which is odd when the rest of you is cold. And then the noises start. At first, it's just a few gasps here and there. Sometimes it's odd gurgling, almost choking sounds. And you all start to feel. It's as if grief transformed into hate and then started beating against your soul. That's what this sensation is to all of you. is something bloodthirsty and furious is down here with you. And on some subconscious level, you're all impressed with yourselves. Even the Fiona. You guys don't feel fear, but you can tell that you probably should be. And then nothing seems to move in the water with you. You all just keep swimming and swimming until you start to see, as it comes into focus, something not at the bottom of the lake, because it's kind of hard to dive to the bottom of a lake without proper equipment. But you do see a bubble. It's like a sort of dome shape on the side of the because you can still see the rocks and stuff even under the water, because you've basically been swimming right next to the basin. And as soon as Tegan in seal form goes into the bubble, you see on the other side they pop back to Selkie look instead of seal look, and they're standing on what seems to be a stone platform. You can't really see inside too well. The bubble's sort of obscuring things as it shifts around, but you all can tell that you can enter the bubble at the very least. And as you all splash in, I can give you a second for your characters to catch their breath and all that stuff. And you find that you're all dry. There's no water getting past the barrier of the bubble.
Storyteller, would my plate still look like a suit here, or would it look like armor?
Yeah, since you are still in the autumn world at the moment, it's still a very nice suit. They can also see that it is an actual piece of armor on top of it, but it's like a weird dual effect where when you're in the autumn world, your chimerical stuff and your real stuff are layered right on top of each other. So Kithane can sort of look at people from two different perspectives at once. It's a little disorienting at times. But Tegan doesn't have to wring any clothes out, but still dusts themselves off and crosses their arms. Well, I didn't have to swim back for any of you, so that's good.
I would like to compete against you someday, honey.
You'd lose. And
I
yes,
can outlast you. I can promise that.
Not my style, Toots. Thanks, though.
Damn.
Already time for games once we finished here.
So, welcome to the most secret trod in Milwaukee. And they thumb behind them to where you guys see a dark wooden door just in the middle of the rock.
Ooh,
Nice.
Ominous. That seems fun.
Oh, yes. And they reach for the old doorknob, turn it, and push it open to where what you all see is just a light rainbow swirling of colors. Slightly glowing.
See you all on the other side.
And they're going to be the last one through to make sure that everyone else actually gets through.
Oh, please, my lord, let me go first to make sure it's safe.
Well, thank you.
Oh, I wasn't speaking to you, but also you, yes.
Nice.
You may go first, Verity.
Thank you, Lord. So yeah, she'll go in first.
Whoosh. And she's gone in a puff of glitter and rainbow sparkles that do not get on any clothes. These are chimerical motherfuckers. I'm not going to torture you like that.
How this follows.
The exact same
don't.
effect.
I go in and it's like, well, off to adventure. Just stumble my way in.
And she'll just follow in right behind.
And then Elmer Tegan's basically on your heels as they shut the door behind you both. And everyone appears on the silver path. Not from an entryway, you're just suddenly on a long path that stretches in two directions. But you all appear simultaneously. There is a road, looks to be through a pretty decent forest, bright, vibrant trees. It's as if someone took the settings on the TV and turned contrast up a bit more. So everything's very defined and noticeable. There is a slight shimmer on the borders of the path through this forest, as the silver path is noticeable. Luxie, as soon as you all touched down, the compass immediately pointed left off the path.
I gave the compass.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, then the compass is pointing directly left on the path that you guys are standing on, which means it's telling you step off the path, which means you remove your inherent protections against the dreaming.
Ooh.
Because you all know that as long as you're on the silver path, things can't just fuck with you. Get off the silver path and you've relinquished your rights to that protection. But sometimes you have to step off. Unfortunately, in one of these cases, it seems it's one of those cases.
Before we make a decision of stepping off, may I use my soothsay ability?
Which one?
Oh yeah, I have options, don't I?
You got it. You got 3 different options on that.
I'll use the first one, just Omen.
Omen? Okay. Apologies, I haven't had to run arts in a long fucking while. Okay, you're trying to say the sooth, as they say. Realm selected determines what Omen is about. Okay, what realm are you going to be applying to this?
I apologize. I meant Tattletale on.
Tattletale.
Sorry,
okay.
I got it mixed up. I'd like to do it on either. I'm indifferent between the feather or the claw.
All right. I'll just give you the feather since it was the one that you had initially.
Great.
So you're focusing on the feather for Tattletale.
Yeah.
Okay. And ultimately, are you trying to glean anything specific from this use?
I think since it's early, no. I'm just trying to get a general sense.
Okay. The cantrips are far easier to use inside the dreaming.
Mhm.
And attached to this feather is profound sense of duty. That is something that you can tell immediately. The thing that this feather came from is committed to something quite heavily. You learn that there is an underlying current of despair and hopelessness, which is just under the surface of that duty. And then buried deep at the center is the tiniest crumb of hope. That's about the information you can get right now from it. And Tegan is also just standing on the path with you. Doesn't seem to be moving much. Well,
does it tell us which way to go?
Compass is your lifeline. I'd say just follow it and you should be good.
Before we step off, could I do a danger sense?
Just to sort of quick check around and make sure nothing's going to sneak up. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because we're about to step off.
Perception alert naus.
All right. And that is a danger sense. It's got the
danger sense is the
special, yeah.
-3 diff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So that would be difficulty 3, I guess. All right.
Actually, in this case, it'd be difficulty 4 because I would have set it at difficulty 7 as base.
Okay.
Oh, actually, sorry. No, my apologies to you. Danger sense is more something that's used reactively than proactively. So it's usually good for if you're going to actually get jumped. So you can still make the check. It just won't be with the difficulty reduction because you don't know specifically if anything's about to get you at this moment.
Okay, so it would be okay. So
just difficulty 7 and then perception alertness. If you have any specialties, feel free to mention them in case you think they'd apply.
Difficulty 7, 1, 2, 3 successes. No one.
Any smoke. Well, first the obvious stuff. There's Chimera. They're everywhere. The trees are Chimera. The fucking rocks are Chimera. Everything is Chimera.
Mhm.
You also see some that are Chimera that are more in the sentient range, where they're like animals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Although you all know as Cathane that any Chimera that look like animals don't always have the animal intelligence. Sometimes they're way craftier than they appear.
Mhm.
And so you got to be a bit careful. You do also notice that most of the Chimera are looking directly at your giant monolith of a troll. Like
Oh,
you see squirrels staring at her, a couple sparrows. You see one thing that looks sort of like a living slinky with googly eyes, and a whole bunch of shit is just staring at Verity.
It's like I'm Snow White.
Kinda.
does she know that they're? I'm assuming she knows they're staring at her.
I would say Verity has this like nervous look on her face, like she was expecting this, but doesn't know how to broach the topic.
Yeah.
Did you piss off a squirrel or something?
Mhm.
No, they like me a lot.
You're a popular one. Are they mad at you or?
Depends on if they were already mad.
Um,
To make this
Yeah.
trip a bit more fun.
Looks like word travels fast, huh?
Oh, and now that you all are on this side of the dreaming, your mortal appearance has faded damn near completely. You are in what your chimerical voile is, your dream clothing, as it were. So whatever your kith would traditionally probably have in stories. So for the Slua, it would probably be very old but somewhat well cared for clothing. For the Boggin, it's simple colors and cozy feelings. For the Troll, it's probably a lot of structure and like proper proportions. Carlos could wear a fucking potato bag and still look amazing. And Luxie, for you, it's probably very Greek, very
mhm.
Grecian, as that's where your stories initially come from. But it could be any form of whatever you all would think chimerical clothing would be for you.
With hooves.
With hooves. And then your seemings are also at the forefront. Luxie, your horns are not just like visible to other people, they're visible to everything in here. They actually are completely solid, not like weird dream echoes like sometimes they are in the real world.
Mhm.
You all are your kith now, properly. Welcome to the dreaming.
Well, compass bearer, which way are we going?
I point. Off
All
the
right.
path.
Let's go. Verity will step off the silver path.
And Verity is, as soon as the first foot hits, you are now surrounded by various wildlife. There are squirrels climbing all over you. Birds have landed on your horns. There are slightly too many chimera around this troll.
Wow.
Carlos follows.
Well-
Go ahead.
You're not friends with any of them, are you? Looking down at.
Oh, right. Because we all are chimera. We all know each other. No, I don't know any of them.
You get one of those a year.
I'd probably eat a couple of them. Not sure why I would.
Mm.
No, let's not right now.
No, don't do that. These are the nice ones.
They're
Eat
so
the
cute.
bad ones.
Mm.
One of the squirrels like leans down and, as much as a squirrel can, flips off. Oh shit, Elmer, what's your bulldog's name?
That's probably a good idea to Gus.
Gus. Okay. As the squirrel flips off Gus, which is weird to see a squirrel do at all because usually they can't do that.
So sassy. Oh, it's so cute.
You'd
Maybe
think a
they'll come in
bird would
handy.
I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't a bird who gave you the bird.
And he just casually steps over the silver path because he's chimera. He obeys different laws in the dreaming than you do.
I'll follow my dog.
I'm following them. Clip,
All right.
plop with the hooves.
As you all step off, it doesn't feel like a whole lot has changed, except when you stepped over the line, the forest definitely has more atmosphere. Like you were hearing, forest noises and stuff, but now it's more there. Before it sort of sounded like the way you'd hear it if someone was playing nature sounds on a CD. But now you're in it. Although some of the sounds aren't exactly natural. But the compass hasn't changed direction. It's still telling go the way it was saying go before.
Forward.
The off chance I don't get to tell you all this later, I am thrilled to be able to fight with you, especially you, Verity.
Right back at you, Lord Carlos.
Okay. Now for the real trick. We are going to take a break. I'm really bad with my other campaign of actually breaking when it's appropriate, so I will do that now to avoid this bullshit. Thank you all so much, and we will see you in roughly 10 minutes. But enough about writing. Let's get back to Queen's Gambit. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for letting us take a lovely break for whatever needs we must have. These Kithane are in the dreaming, y'all, and they had to fight through a wall of very intense feelings to get here. Now that they are in, they have stepped off the silver path, and they are in a shaded, nice forest. It's roughly still daytime. The dreaming sometimes likes to obey a chronological order. And as you all are taking steps, it's definitely a lot. Firstly, because your group is being swarmed with Chimera, who are mainly focusing on your troll. Although there's sort of a general feeling of weight as you all move through. The dreaming can recognize when people are on quests. And it seems the dreaming has taken notice of yours. What that means, and the fact that the dreaming isn't conscious, but it is, but it isn't, you're not sure. And as you're taking walks down the beach, you blink and realize you're now on a beach. There wasn't even a transition. It was just step, forest, step, beach. The water is orange and foamy, lapping at the sand. Palm trees drape just ever so gently over, providing small bits of shade along the walkway of a very, very infinite beach. Coming out from further into the island, you see what could be considered gorillas. You've never known gorillas to be periwinkle in color, but they are gorillas all the same. Seems to be a small family of them, baby, some adults. They just cross the path as you all are treading it. They turn and stare at you, give a bored shrug, and all of them just walk into the water. As if
I
it's
just
some sort of
smile and
routine.
like a nod. I'm like enjoying this scenery.
Lexi waves.
And the compass, for the most part, is staying in the same general 15 degrees now. So as long as you're heading vaguely the direction you're already going, you should be fine for now. Although you all would know that this compass tells you where you need to go and not necessarily where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
If you all want to take a second for some conversation.
Just take this in, everyone. Just, I don't think you ever get many moments like this in this kind of environment.
Oh, you should join House Fiona if you think that way. We go on adventures all the time.
This is beautiful. Just absolutely gorgeous. She picks up
Close enough. to make me want to take a quick dip.
Elmer
Oh,
looks left. Elmer looks right. Okay, I've seen it. Shall we proceed?
hmm. So I guess skinny dipping's out of the question.
I mean, you're free to do whatever you like, Darren.
But aren't we in a hurry?
Yes,
Do it after?
unfortunately.
Hmm.
Well, so time doesn't work necessarily the same here as it does in quote unquote real life.
The autumn world.
You sure you can call it that too.
I'll
True,
try
but
to
it would
stay.
still be better to get things done effectively. We
Mm.
don't know what we'll come across.
I'll
Well-
stay focused.
Just take it in when you can, and
And as you all walk, it's a fairly decent sort of orchard, all the trees in perfect rows. The fruits sort of shift and sway on their branches, a couple of them outright dancing. Carlos, you just idly, as you look around this new space, see a tree that is dead. But there are vines growing all over it that are quite alive. And hanging off of them are some of the most impressive looking Concord grapes you can recall seeing.
This world is torture.
And it's right on the way. You guys are going to walk past this tree.
As much as I would really like to. I'm like a willpower, we'll see.
Go for it.
Carlos ain't scared to do stupid stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to pick the fruit?
Some of the fruit seems to scream in very high-pitched, quiet voices and move away from you as you reach for it, but you can get your hands on any of the fruit. Some of it doesn't scream.
Mm-hmm. Remind me to come back here and see if I can take some of these grapes.
And you all as Cathane would know that consuming Chimera is actually not bad for any of you, because all it does is give you back any lost glamour, because that's what eating Chimera does, because they're all the same dream stuff. They might taste different, but
Can I pick one little grape off?
sure.
So Luxie walks up, picks one little grape off.
This doesn't make any sort of audio reaction.
That was just me. And then I walk over and I said, "Will you take a fruit? I shall offer you a fruit of the sun. Would you like to eat it?"
Not now, but if we both come out of here, I can think of a lot of really fun ways to eat grapes.
Oh. And she pops in her mouth.
And you immediately taste the weirdest flavor combo. You taste a cheese pizza, slight aftertaste of motor oil, and then that aftertaste is, you think salt, it could also just be dirt.
We might want to find a different tree later.
You're muted, Elmer.
I know I'm quiet, but I shouldn't be that quiet. Elmer just kind of shakes his head, opens up his coat, and just like palms some stale cake from one of his coat pockets.
And as you throw it back, it tastes normal.
He just kind of lets it fall to the ground.
And you all watch as he sort of as the rest of it seems fairly stale to all of you. It doesn't look like cake you'd necessarily eat, but he spat it out.
Elmer, you do look kind of pale. Do you need some extra protein in your diet? Verity will pull out like a protein bar.
I have trail mix. I always have trail
Ooh.
mix.
Oh, we're okay.
I feel just fine. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay. If you're sure.
So if I ate something and it was nasty, I shall not lie, and he did not look very happy with it, is there something up with the environment? Something is wrong. Somebody taste something else. Stick something else in your mouth and see if it tastes funny. Get another grade. Somebody else. So it's not just me.
I will pull out some Limburg from my jacket and feed it to Gus.
He eats it and tastes like cheese.
Stinky enough for you?
Oh, it's fucking perfect, isn't it?
I take out one of the chocolates within the trail mix, a homemade chocolate little thing, and see if it tastes any different.
It tastes like chocolate. A bit unimpressive, but chocolate.
At least the stuff here is fine. I guess the stuff we bring is fine.
Luxie, you have 3 dexterity, so you do not trip over the bush that is suddenly in front of you. You manage to deftly leap over it, as only a satyr can. But as you land, you do notice that this bush has these odd red little shapes on them. Sort of like berries, but they seem a different texture. Until you get close and realize, oh, these are cinnamon candies.
Oh, no. Looky! Cinnamon. Oh, there's cinnamon. Look!
Do you take one?
Oh, I absolutely take one. That is my favorite candies. Anybody want one?
Did you not just learn that just because it looks like something doesn't mean it's going to taste like that thing?
No, but not everything you put in your mouth is going to taste nasty either. So I'd like to at least try.
I'm sure you're the expert.
I would like to see your reaction at least.
I mean,
what you doing, Lexi?
I'm going to pluck one of them off.
They feel exactly like candy. And it is a cinnamon candy. That much is obvious. But it's really cinnamon heavy. Oh, it's really cinnamon. Ow, fuck. Your mouth is a little bit numb by this point. It's really strong with the cinnamon flavor.
I'm not numb. And then,
Quick, try another grape.
The speech clears up easily, but it's very hard for you to feel your tongue right now.
Storyteller, looking around at the other trees, do any of them look like people by chance?
Look like people?
Any
No.
faces? Yeah.
No, these trees are all decidedly tree-ish. It's the fruits that are weird.
Can I determine what kind of trees that they are supposed to imitate?
Oh, they run the gamut: sequoia, oak, maple, whatever sort of trees you can think of. It's weird. They're all lined up as if they are the same tree, like you'd see in an orchard, but they are not the same tree. And many of these trees don't produce fruit, and yet you see fruit on them.
Well, since we haven't learned a lesson, Compass Bearer, which way are we supposed to go?
Oh,
mouth adventures aren't my thing. I'd like to go on the real adventure, not mouth adventures.
I mean, you never.
I take a look at the compass. Has it changed direction?
It has. You're still roughly in the right path. Maybe if you turn slightly left, you guys are in a better direction. But for the most part, it seems roughly the same.
That way.
Elmer, on one of the trees, you see something very interesting. you see saucers with small cups on them. Steam rising up from them as if there is already tea inside.
I'm going to go examine, not taste yet.
The smell is barely there. It's very weak tea.
My favorite. I'm going to make a willpower roll.
Go
Just
for it.
I am not one to not listen to my own advice. I rolled like 5 successes on a willpower roll.
All right. You are fully within your own autonomy and can make whatever decision you would wish to.
Thank you for the offer, but no thank you. I will say to the tree.
Only because you're a Sluagh do you hear it. Oh. There's like a disappointed sigh.
You cannot one-up me on the disappointed sigh front. That is my territory.
You guys see your Sluagh speaking to a tree.
Is everything okay?
It's trying to tempt me with weak tea, my favorite.
Oh, I can fix this. Storyteller, can I make a feat of strength to rip this tree out of the ground and throw it?
Sure, go for it.
Great. I believe it's a strength willpower roll.
Indeed. Actually, no, for this, let's just do strength athletics.
Sounds good. Yeah. I have a specialty in athletics of track and field. Would this count?
Bolt.
No, not for this one. That's more physical movement than physical lifting power.
Fair. I mean,
we're trying to rip a tree out of the
puts part
ground.
of that technically.
Technically, but
right.
not the same vibes.
That's fine. It's fine. Listen, you never know if you don't ask.
To any changeling STs, treasure a troll. They're always entertaining.
Standard difficulty?
For ripping a weird tree out of the ground, let's actually say diff 8.
Sounds good. 4 successes.
There's
There's an explosion of dirt. The roots go flailing in every direction. The second that tree is in no more contact with the ground, it withers, crumbles, and dies in your arms. So you're now holding a bunch of dead wood.
That was not necessary.
Don't touch my bush.
Very just caver tosses that shit after that point, just off to the distance.
And it lands. You do not hear a crash noise. You actually hear like a cartoon boink.
That was beautiful, Verity. Truly inspired. Let's continue before I get into a competition.
If anyone else is tempted by trees, I'm happy to do it again.
Don't touch my bush. I'm just saying.
Verity turns bright red and turns around and starts walking towards the direction we're supposed to be going.
Can I grab some more red hots off the bush?
Certainly, that's
her addiction.
They're still far too cinnamony, but if you nibble on them, you should be okay.
I'll just suck on them. So she just reaches over and grabs
and
a
folks,
handful.
If you're a changeling storyteller, treasure a satyr. They're a different type of joy. Verity, you could turn and nearly walk face first into a tree with plates on it. On those plates is both forks and bits of green bean casserole ladled onto it. It smells amazing.
Oh dear. Well,
and at the same token, Roy, you're sort of watching everyone go through all this madness, and you like bump into the back of a tree and you turn around like, oh, and you see that on this tree are various slices of cake.
I guess I'll go ahead and make a willpower roll here.
And Roy, the oddest part is half the cake is bad. Like some has mold, some are stale as hell. But then on the other side, they're perfectly fresh pieces of cake. And there's different types of cake too, chocolate, lemon. Like you can find so many flavors on this one tree. And Elmer, you do sort of see Roy noticing it too, and you do notice some of the cake that's actually on there.
I'm very curious on why it's like half rotten and half.
And it's a perfect half too. The right side is all the bad stuff. The left side is all the good stuff.
Mr. Greenway, might I suggest you eat the bad-looking half, and I might try the good-looking half?
You suggest me that I will eat moldy cake.
I think it looks like moldy cake. I don't think it'll taste like moldy cake to you.
I'll go to the right half, which is the moldy that you said, and have the least stale and moldy one I can find, and that's possibly like I know, like a lemon poppy kind of seed cake.
And take the smallest bite you can, I'm sure. And as you take a bite,
need a fork.
Let it melt in your mouth, and you'll really get the flavor. And she puts one.
I actually take out a fork.
Yeah, of course you do. Fucking boggins. You've probably got a whole dining ware set that you haven't told anyone about. Love it. At first, it tastes like a lemon poppy, exactly as you said, but it quickly gives way to allspice. It's a little odd.
I mean, it's not horrible, but
texture is cake. The flavor is allspice.
This is not what it's supposed to be.
Well, you tried. Aren't you proud of yourself?
You know what? I am. Thank you.
And Verity, did you ignore the lovely green bean casserole?
I got one success, so my willpower is not great.
You're feeling a bit of temptation, but it's still your autonomy as far as you can tell, if you want some or not.
I think this case, I will give into the urge to do what I said I was going to do if anyone else tried to eat anything.
Eat it. It'll taste good.
I am going to remove this tree as an obstacle as well.
Okay, let's do the strength athletics roll. Difficulty 8.
The dreaming is actually just a whole episode of Is It Cake?
And
that would be amazing.
There you go.
Boy, that's only 3 this time. But
okay. You don't get it out of the ground this time, but you get it significantly to the side, like eat your heart out, Leaning Tower of Pisa. It is still touching the ground, though, so it is not withering and dying. Although, as the Disturbing plant goes, it doesn't exactly seem like it would be comfortable for it, but you didn't get the old dead wood reaction that you got from the other one.
Storyteller, I have a question.
Arf, what you got?
So Carlos has seen me already do the tree throwing thing twice. Carlos would know better than me, but does Carlos think he could do this the same? Knowing he's not as strong as a troll, it's pretty strong.
You are fairly strong, although I would say you would have not only probably less dice to throw at it, but it would be an increased difficulty for you. It is mostly because she's a troll that she is able to do that with as little, as I say that contextually, as little effort as she can, because trolls in the dreaming are just chunky. So you could pull it off because the dreaming is infinite possibility. You can technically try for anything here, but whether or not your talents would line up with the same like historical significance, because trolls, their dreams are always known for being strong and all that shit. You'd probably have a better time trying to pull off an impossible task like convince an army to stand down sort of a thing would probably be more where your miraculous actions would be. You could still attempt it, of course, but it may just be like pop a blood vessel in your neck sort of struggle for you. So that's what I'll say on that. You can absolutely attempt it should you wish to.
He won't do it. He won't do it.
Okay.
I don't mean to be rude, but I do feel like we are getting distracted.
She's sticking red hots in her mouth, sucking on them. Yeah, we probably should get going.
Hey, Elmer. You'd be the only one to notice. So how about some perception alertness, please?
Certainly.
For you, and I'm taking your Sluaw bullshit into account, you will get diff 6 for this.
Is danger sense applied in any way?
Not in this case, no.
Okay.
You are not in danger, I can say that much.
Said diff 6.
Mm-hmm. Diff 6. It would be diff 8, but you're a Sluaw, so it's diff 6.
5 successes.
5 successes. In one of the trees, a little ways back from where you guys were previously walking, you see a pretty normal looking robin. It hops on its branch a little bit. And it's not staring at Verity like everything else is. It's staring at all of you. There's no malice that you can get from it, but there is a robin sitting in a tree staring at all of you. Although it's doing a pretty good job of keeping quiet. Usually birds don't sit still that way.
Would we notice it?
He would be the only one to notice it because Sluaw naturally just notice more shit.
I will make my way over, looking as friendly as a Sluaw can, to Carlos. Turn my back to the robin.
Okay.
It appears we are being followed.
Oh.
And there is a bird back there, unlike the others, and looks too normal. I have suspicions it is tracking us.
Do you think it is one of Verity's admirers, or?
It is not. It is not gazing its attention on Verity like the others. It is diverting its attention to the rest of us.
See, would you be able to tell who or what may have sent it if you could get a hold of it?
Is there anything I could do to, make a...
I mean,
Yeah,
soothsay is an excellent way to get information about things that you're looking at.
Then let's do that.
If its past can tell you something, that's a pretty good shout. Even if you just did Omen, I think it would probably be enough.
I'd say I also have 5 dots in Remembrance. I don't know if that would apply at all.
I'll leave that up to you. If you want to do the magic route, or if you want to do the past lives route, either or. Just tell me which one you want.
I think the magic makes more sense right now.
Okay, you use an Omen, because that's one I actually kind of remember.
Okay. I will take your word for it.
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Here's the right one I'm looking for. Okay. And then Rome Selected determines. For this, you will need Realm of Fae.
I have 2 dots in that.
Then you are perfectly fine. Okay. Sorry, just one last double check to make sure that I'm getting this all correct here. Okay, I'm going to set you up as diff 6 on that. And I believe you are going to be rolling your Soothsay plus your Glamour, I believe.
Okay.
Permanent Glamour, not temp.
4 successes.
Let me double check what 4 gives you.
Yeah, no ones. Okay.
Okay, I just have to read this to you because it's also funny. Here's your options. The seer may seek one clue about an immediate plan of the target or the near future of an object, or one clue about the outward demeanor or court allegiance of a target, or whether the object is lucky or ill-omened, or one clue about a long-term goal of the target or where the object will be in the future, or one clue about the inner nature or legacy of the target, or whether the object is of great importance. Those are the sorts of questions you can get, and you can only get one of them.
Due to my ignorance about the general nature of things, and even saying using my common sense, is there one that would be more applicable? Am I able to, or is that circumventing too much?
The importance thing might apply. I would honestly advise, if you're going for common sense, probably the one about long-term goal or where it will be in the future, or maybe court allegiance would probably be good ones to ask.
I'll do that first one.
Where it's going to be, or would it be the
long-term goal?
Long-term goal. Its long-term goal is to watch you all. That is its actual goal, is to watch.
I would reiterate that too, Carlos. I think it is just here to for reconnaissance.
For now, let's allow it to watch. We aren't doing anything secretive at the moment. If that changes soon, we'll have to deal with it.
All right. But I do think it's best that we continue on then.
All right, everyone, I think we should continue.
And you were checking the compass, Roy?
Mm-hmm.
It is pointing more... Well, on the compass, it says south, but who knows if that's the actual direction in the dreaming. But it's pointing a more rightwards direction from where you guys are now.
All right, it's saying this way.
I'm following you.
And all of you, as you continue on, walking through a bank of fog that has rolled in. My. I didn't think I'd get to see so many Kithane in one spot. And the fog has filled up everywhere. You can tell you're not in an orchard anymore, but you can't tell exactly where you are. It's just a lot of fog.
I'm assuming that's not a voice we might recognize.
No, from what you can tell, the voice sounded vaguely excited and maybe a bit manic.
Does the compass look like it's reacting to the fog at all?
It's still just pointing as far as you can see, Roy. It's doing what it just did. It changed, but it hasn't changed again.
So we heard that whatever it is speak, right?
Yeah, as the fog built up. So you can't really see around you guys aside from your immediate selves. Like, you can see each other, but that's about it.
Verity sighs, turns to Roy and Almer and says, could you hold on to your hats, please, dears? I would like to activate Skycraft 1. I think that's the Gale Force Wind one.
Indeed.
I can assist you. I think Primal 2, if I am reading correctly, and I just...
Oh, you're both going to do elemental bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what Verity's doing because I know exactly how the power that she's just mentioned works.
Mm-hmm.
But Roy, what are you doing? Because Primal has different effects depending on what you're using there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so I guess the first question is, what element are you trying to focus in on?
Air.
Air? Okay. So you're both going air.
Why is it? I'm trying to find a...
What realm would this be? If I sent around myself, would Fae be the realm then? Or
if you are the initial instance, then yes, Fae would be an excellent target.
I'll do that then. That seems easiest rather than trying to figure out.
If you guys are ever in doubt, Fae is a pretty good one for where you are, which is the fucking dreaming. So if you don't have it, just 1 point of glamour and you have it. It's fine.
Or just unleash.
Yeah, unleash in the dreaming. That's a smart move.
Would this be a good time to do Danger Sense?
That would actually probably be an excellent thing to roll.
That's what I thought.
Because you guys might just be in a bit of danger now.
Okay. So
perception alertness, and since it's the reduction, that gets you to difficulty 5.
Okay.
For just like a 1 dot bunk, Verity is going to trace like the tattoo of a lightning bolt that runs down her arm.
Yeah, I'll give that a 1.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you all about bunks. Fuck.
You said difficulty 5?
I got the general idea.
Diff 5 for the danger sense people if they roll it. Yeah.
What's my difficulty going to be for this art?
I think you're just rolling Skycraft Glamour, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, then just roll that, and let's say diff 6. It is only fog.
Okay. I got 3, but I got a 1, so that's 2.
2. House got 3. Okay. Both Luxie and Elmer notice the voice is everywhere. The figure that it's attached to is not. The figure it is attached to is sort of directly in front of you guys, a little ways deeper into the fog. That's the source. You can find the source, but the voice when it spoke was everywhere.
I got 6 successes.
How you guys move in the wind? Roy, you don't need to roll. I'm just going to say that this fucking works because arts love working together, especially when they're similar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So between the two of you, how does the wind behave? You both get the narrative a little bit here.
I'm trying to know path. Trying to get a
so
clear
you're doing
path.
like a straight line in the direction of the compass?
Yeah, the direction of the compass.
Okay.
Verity's trying to create a cyclone with the eye of it centered on her group here.
Okay. So here's how it goes down. The wind definitely picks up around all of you. It's wind. It's intense. It's strong. It's invisible. And yet somehow you see everything swirling around, dust, fog. And then it all redirects and goes from spinning in a circle around you to then rushing out past you immediately in front of you. All the fog is cleared away, and standing in front of you all, about 10 feet back, is an entity that at first glance is about as thin as a stick figure. It is dark black. It has thin claw-like fingers that seem to all bend more like fingers, so it comes to a point but doesn't move like claws in the slightest. It has a white face with black pits for its eyes, and you do not see any other features beyond that. As it just sort of stands there, its arms draped and hanging in front of it.
May I make a remembrance roll?
Certainly. Intelligence remembrance, I believe, is what it goes for these days. And I know how much remembrance you got, so I think I can answer this depending on what you get.
I have 5 remembrance.
Mm-hmm. You remember every life you have probably ever had.
Yeah.
7 successes.
Yeah, in many lives you've met these things. It's not necessarily a specific type of creature that you can categorize too much, but you know that there are certain chimera that are other. Furiosa, although those are usually just known as chimera that have gone feral. There's Noctnisa, which are sort of the basis for human nightmares. And then there's this one, also known as Nervosa, which is just a darker type of chimera. Often they're more conceptual than they are like based off of something.
For those of us, for you, shall I say, predisposed to combat, we're dealing with a nervosa here.
Oh, that's fine. I don't need to know its name.
Oh.
I just need to know how and where to punch it.
And Lexi turns around. Hi.
And its creepily long fingers like raise up.
Oh, you're so cute. So, what's up? What can we do for you?
It points and just its point sort of sweeps across the lot of you. You all have something I want.
Like what?
Like a drum.
Something from up here.
Like what?
For you, and it takes long strides. And as it gets up to Luxie, you all see... Luxie, how tall are you?
Oh, I'm about 5'3". I'm a short little shit. Go ahead.
This thing probably sits around the 7-foot mark. Verity, you're just a little taller than it.
You're a big, big thing, aren't you?
And then it leans down. And for those who are sort of more to the side, you can see sort of what happens, but Luxie sees it front and center. It does have a mouth. It splits and crawls into a big grin. It doesn't have teeth. It is just more black pit, just like its eyes.
I mean...
For example... You have desires. I'll take one.
For what?
Why do you need to know?
Well, it's my desire. Although your desires might be very important too. What is your desire?
I like things. I like taking things. And then just its head and neck will twist and turn until it's looking at Carlos. You have something too. All of you do. And it'll like turn still just its neck and head to look at each of you.
Verity, I believe we should make like a tree, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Excuse me, whatever your name is. I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Would you like your face punched in or be cooked like chicken at KFC?
Oh, it's so sweet when Kithane fight back. It's so much more fun.
I think that means KFC.
Me. Well,
I'm
gonna edit.
Yeah, it's in the middle of asking a question. So when Carlos, I'm guessing, strikes with one of your weapons.
Yep, spear straight through it.
All right.
mean,
let's do, if it's a spear, strength melee or dex melee? Which are you feeling? It's your character.
It's the same. I'm good at both.
All right, let's do strength melee then. And then Verity, it sounds like you were rearing up to do something.
I'm right behind her.
Okay.
I
will
was
say though, no initiative yet.
Right.
I was going to call lightning, but since Carlos is going to stab it, and I assume that's a metal weapon, I'm not going to do that now.
No, it's magic. It's a magic weapon.
Sure, yeah. So is my lightning, and therefore...
Can I spend a point of willpower for a success?
Certainly.
All right, then I will have 4 successes total.
4 successes total. Okay. The spear gets lodged in its incredibly thin gut. And as you pull away, a bunch of black liquid spills out as blood onto the ground.
Ew.
Fine. Playtime's over. And you all watch it and go from a stick figure to an enormous black inky balloon. Its limbs are now tucked in and just sort of sticking uselessly out the sides of it. And then you see it and try to get a bit bigger, and it pops. And I will take some dexterity athletics from all of you. Difficulty 8.
Whatcha? You said athletics and dex?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and just as some storyteller advice, you want to succeed.
Would preternatural grace work as a specialty for this?
Yes.
I only have 3 dice.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a willpower to
I
get
would
one
like to get
success.
Of course.
I
Same
am
from me.
Yeah, I'm going to use willpower to get one success.
Okay.
difficulty 8.
With the
Diff
willpower,
8.
Mm-hmm.
with that willpower, then it's 3 successes.
Okay.
That's zero. It's 0 successes for me. It was 8.
Woot.
I had ones that took away my successes.
It's always a bitch, isn't it?
Oh, baby.
Does 10 count?
I will ask again if track and field specialty counts in athletics.
Not for this.
3 successes then.
Okay.
There were 2 10s in that roll, Maddox. 2 fucking 10s.
You have my sympathies as a player who gets fucked by his dice.
Yeah.
10
so-
don't count only if it's exploding, and that's I don't have that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if you made it a specialty. That's what I was just bitching about.
so that if I'm hearing right, only one of you got 2 or less, correct? Okay.
I got, I did rule power for mine.
Okay. Carlos is the only one who takes the full brunt of this, as he was right up on it when it happened. That's the narrative description, at least. As the inky blackness that this thing was scatters and covers all of you. You could not avoid most of it, and everyone but Carlos takes 1 point of aggravated damage. Carlos takes 3.
Does she plate armor help with this in a way? Even a little bit?
You know what? Sure. 2 aggravated damage. And as a warning to all of you, you are in the dreaming. You do not have chimerical death and regular death. You only have death. Because you are in the dreaming. Your safety net is gone.
I'm gonna use this at this point. I'm gonna do Oaken Shield.
Okay. Pound your fist against your chest and make yourself a bit tougher.
Can I can't do it on everyone else. Just
I would like clarification. It exploded, like gone exploded, or just
gone exploded. The thing exploded, pop, and it was gone.
Cool. Then Verity will just run over to check on Carlos then.
Yeah, Carlos. Well, he can't look bad. He's a she, but he looks crispy for a she. It's sort of, you all felt it burn sort of like acid, but if acid was cold and haunting, it hurt.
Actually, I have something else. Something in spring. I had to take a look at it. I do have Well of Life that can heal people.
Means you all would have to sit around the Well of Life, or if you imbue it into something that people can consume or take into themselves in some way, you can also heal aggravated that way. Well of Life is rough with aggravated stuff.
So I do have some trail mix. I can actually imbue it and give it to each of you to eat in the...
if someone's going to be eating a Well of Life, it would only be one person able to get the benefits. And if you make someone a Well of Life, I don't believe it heals them. It heals everything around them.
Okay, so I thought it's like a locate. I can do it.
You can put it on something, but you all would have to sit for a while for it to do any real benefits, because you have to be in proximity to it. You could probably walk, I guess, and carry it with you if you wanted to, like, just take a chocolate chip or something. Yes, House.
I would say I have a 2-point merit for a boon that we have not established. I was wondering
That is
if
true.
in this situation I could call upon a boon to help us in this sticky situation, literally and figuratively.
As your common sense, I will inform you that you do not need it.
Okay.
You do not need to utilize it, rather. There is
Okay.
something already at your disposal that can heal.
Oh, so the thing's just gone.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, sorry. I thought we were still facing.
Oh, no. Sorry. The nightmare, the nervosa, whatever the fuck it was, got pissed, threatened you, and exploded. That was
Okay.
what it did.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was.
I thought
You're
that
not.
was like-
None of you are sure what its plan was after exploding, but it's not coming back.
What a wimpy little thing.
Right, you're telling me.
I need a
You didn't get
bath
hit by
after
any of it.
this.
You were behind me.
I should have had a bath from that.
Was Gus not affected?
I assume he was just like standing behind me.
Yeah, Gus used his companion as a shield. That's the only reason that he didn't get hit with any.
Hey, Gus, would you like to be a source of healing for everyone?
You're not eating my dog.
I'm not.
Yeah, we're not eating the dog.
No, I just.
Gus waddles up in the way that only bulldogs can and puts a paw on your shoe, Roy. Oh,
I'm not going to eat.
all right. There we go. God save the queen.
Aw, he's such a cute little thing.
And there is a second where his paw glows. And Roy, you can get rid of that point of aggravated damage.
Okay, and so I thought it'd be like for everyone while we're walking around. It can't be him.
He wouldn't be a source, but he seems to have just healed you independently of your well of life. You haven't put it on him yet.
Oh,
He just sat a paw on your shoe, and then you are no longer burning. It no longer stings and hurts.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I will say I can only do that to one more person.
I'm fine. Gus, dear. Please, Lord Carlos needs healing.
I like a little bit of pain, so we can go with. I don't mind holding on to it.
To which, as Gus waddles over to Carlos, he just says, "It's always the fucking ghosts. It's the freaks in it." and then he waddles over and puts his paw in your shoe, Carlos, and you also heal 1 point of aggravated.
I'm very appreciative for your help.
Yeah, no problem. And he heads back over to Elmer. Now, just to warn you all, it'll be a bit before I can do that again.
He's such a cute little thing.
You'd think you'd help his companion, but I guess I was making an assumption.
No, it's just you've suffered worse.
True.
And if it helps, and he sort of like jumps up and nudges his nose against one of the spots that you know is a pocket in your coat, and you reach in and just take out some simple Havarti. We can split it. This one's a bit off.
Give him some and have a little bit of the rest.
It tastes nice.
I have some cinnamon if anybody wants it.
I mean, I have chocolate. I mean, my trail mix.
Dogs can't have chocolate.
I mean,
well, that's the thing. I'm not a dog.
You can't have chocolate.
Do you want some cinnamon? It's hot.
Sure.
No, you do not know. You
Come
don't.
here.
He just walks up and holds his big dog mouth open.
It's impolite.
He sticks it right on his little tongue, but he wants it.
And he takes it before you can pull away. So for a second, your hand is in dog mouth. It comes out very slobbery.
should we wash all this off?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
It is a-
mind grimy.
It is a bit sticky, but you do manage to scrape the majority of this gunk off of you all.
I could have done the primal book again and have a small rain shower, but
What I would do for a shower right now.
yeah,
I was just going to remove the wrappings around his weapons. Next time, I'm going to kill it before we start talking. Are we ready?
Forgive me, Lord Carlos, for not just killing it immediately. I should have.
Oh, I was just
Yes.
curious. And
I wiped the compass. Well, let's see.
It's pointing behind you, where you guys came from.
We're heading back
what?
that way.
Are you sure you're reading it right?
You also are no longer in the weird orchard. The fog sort of hid things enough for the dreaming to change them when you weren't looking. As you all are now in... It's a forest again. The dreaming seems to really be into forests right now.
Is it?
But there's
the
no
creature?
wood. Sorry?
Is it the creature we need to find, do you think?
We can certainly speculate, but wherever the compass leads, the compass leads. Person, place, or thing.
Mm.
As you all are sort of coming back to yourselves from this event, this encounter, as it were, yeah, now that you're seeing it, you're definitely in a forest. The trees aren't wood, though. The trees are metal. Like riveted plates wrapped around, and then things that are constructed to have branch off. They shape like regular trees, but they are all metal. The leaves, there's no bark because it's too metallic for that. And it's varying in quality. There's polished metal, rusted, everything in between.
Well, this is new.
Is it still
Right.
like daylight-ish? Or is
It's
it like...
closer to like a dusk sort of situation right now. There is sun coming through the metal trees, but it's sun coming through metal trees, so there's bits where things reflect and hit your eyes a little painfully.
Is it like facsimile of trees, or does it have like an industrial feel?
Industrial feel.
Ugh.
Like someone took the shape of a forest, and that's about it. You do even see a river. It is oil, not water, but it is a river.
Oof.
Yeah, I ain't getting in that.
I nudge Gus to go up by Roy, seeing his reaction.
Gus will do it, and Roy, you feel something nudge against your ankle.
Oh, yes.
You all right?
This is just gross. This is just not natural.
He's a bit industrial.
Laying waste to this beautiful planet of ours.
Mm.
And you even see fish in the river. Well, floating in the river. And the fish do not look like a metal. The fish look like actual fish.
It's just
Not
sad.
eat
This is-
anything here?
Yeah,
No.
I'm not putting nothing of this in my mouth. We're good.
No, not even a cake.
Not even my red hots.
This is what I've been trying to fight for most of my life, just against, I should say. Over
Wait a minute.
industrialization.
Metal trees?
No, but this...
So
idea
you've
was-
seen this before,
No,
And-
no.
in like something in your head that you've been fighting against, right?
It's just the effects of what we are having on our planet. This is what a bleak future that we do. We keep on assuming.
Hmm.
I wonder if this is reacting to
Yeah.
our darker fears, impulses,
Would explain the food.
the desires in our last locale.
Uh-huh.
That was my sort of ideal location, a nice burning
Mm-hmm.
forest.
Oh, I
Maybe-
wonder. Oh, I don't know if we.
I'm not afraid of metal trees or oil though.
Mr. Greenway is.
But if it were, think about this. If it were a dream, his nightmare is this. So whose nightmare was the food thing?
I think we were entering happy dreams there. Now we're entering into the nightmares.
Okay, why the shift?
Well, we saw the fog. And it saw into maybe possibly in our minds. That's creature.
Does he
Check on the
saw?
items.
It might be.
This might.
I find the best way to get through a nightmare is to get through. Let's not linger.
Mm.
Off in the distance, you will hear something coughing. Doesn't sound like a person, but it is coughing painfully. You're not quite sure of the direction. As the
Remember to
coughing
stay
starts,
close
you also
together.
start to smell smog, burning coal, industrialization.
He's got some Lysol. Jeez.
Roy,
Hmm.
could you please roll your glamour for me?
I can.
Okay.
My total, right?
Yes. Yes, you will want your total for this one. Don't do temp.
Um, is there a difficulty to it?
Standard 6.
3, 10, 6, 7. So 3.
Okay. You feel something that you know inherently you should not be feeling in the dreaming. You all are from the autumn world. You know what banality feels like. It's not intense. It's not crushing. It's just present.
Mm-hmm.
It's so uninspiring that it can't even hurt. Roy, this banality is not like that. It is invasive and stinging and intense, not the way banality ever is supposed to behave. But you do not gain any banality, but you definitely feel its influence in this place. So essentially what you've learned from this is this area of the dreaming is as much banal as it is glamorous.
I see.
So you will Roy take like a half step as he's staggered, but he doesn't look like any worse for wear.
I've never
Are you
felt
okay?
banality like this. I never felt banality like this before.
You all right?
As Roy says that, you will start to notice it too. There is a feeling of banality, but it's oppressive. Banality doesn't have enough care to be oppressive. It almost feels like this is something adjacent to banality, so close that it's almost the same, but it's different.
I imagine we're close, you think?
I hope so.
We're close to something.
We're nearing.
I can feel it.
As you all continue,
Okay.
up ahead, you can tell that the banality is less and more.
Yeah.
As you approach, you can see an odd sight. A clearing with bright green grass. Nothing in the clearing. The industrial harshness of your environment ends abruptly in a large circle for this clearing. And there are things on the edge of this clearing. Chimera at first glance. But they're not magnificent. They're not more than. They're standard textbook. And you see everything there. You see some lions, some birds, plants, things that look like people. A whole mixture of creatures, too many to count, all standing at the edge, pawing at this clearing. Every so often, you guys feel this weird fluctuation, and one of these chimera get into the clearing, zip towards the center, to which you hear this time a furious screeching call. And then all the things gathered around the clearing like take a half step back and look a bit scared for a second before they go back to trying to get into the barrier. And as you all approach, you see in the center of the clearing is two creatures, both seeming to be at rest. Laying on its belly, not even looking up, is a coyote. A large example of one, but a coyote all the same. Resting on the coyote's back is an eagle that's itself tucked away, resting. For whoever has their piece, there is a definite draw towards the things in the center of the clearing.
I put my hand on the over the feather in my pocket, just on the spot of my coat.
As you all approach these chimera, some of them do notice. They seem a bit twitchy. And one of the lions that was there approaches. He seems almost faded. He's not lesser, but he is both exactly what you expect a chimera to be and something terrible. And he's that at the same time as the lion approaches you. And what are you all doing here at the snack tent?
Snack tent? What do you mean? Snack tent?
Food services over, dear.
No. They taste good. We just need to get to them. We've been taking nips. They're just fighting back.
Oh, you thought I was asking.
Yours.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I wasn't asking you. Can I scruff the lion?
Like grab it by the mane is what you're saying?
Scruff it, yeah.
Oh, you're going to Hercules this shit and throw it to the ground, aren't you?
I am indeed.
Yeah, I can see that a mile away. Fucking trolls. While this is going on, by the way, Elmer, I'm just going to give you this.
Yeah.
You haven't seen one of these, but several of your past lives have. The term is dream eaters. You may also know them as cold iron chimera. They're a chimera. They're a chimera that are both glamorous and banal in equal measure. They're not always necessarily stronger than regular chimera, but they're strong enough to resist banality while existing in the dreaming. They tend to eat everything else chimera, and that includes Kithane.
You would hear Elmer's voice raise as much as a sluice can.
A whisper on the wind.
Ms. Verity, be careful. That is a dream eater, as she's like scruffing it.
Fair enough. Verity, I forgot to give you a difficulty rating.
I have not rolled yet, so.
It is going to be diff 6.
I assume strength plus brawl. I've got double specialties here. I have mighty blows under strength and Muay Thai under brawl. I'm going to guess
both apply.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I will say I don't know if specialties can stack because it's just more exploding tens anyways. But
yeah, either works. Yeah, I was just making sure one of them applied.
Yeah. Then I have a question. Would danger sense be appropriate to use if someone were thinking about crossing into that center towards it? Or is it like a force field, or is it like...
It doesn't seem to be any force field that you guys can perceive. There just seems to be a clear border between fresh green grass and metal facsimile.
Would common sense dictate trying to approach the two animals in the center be bad?
Common sense would dictate that approaching the animals in the center would probably be a good bet.
Okay.
And that would be for all of you. You can just sort of tell the things in the clearing are not the problem. The things surrounding the clearing are the problem.
So 8 successes.
And Lux,
Okay. And how about you roll your strength to tell me how that damage goes?
Okay. Plus my extra successes. That's
I think so. If I
Yeah.
remember, it doesn't matter. It's a short series.
yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure how many dice I'm grabbing. So that's 7 bashing.
Okay.
woo,
Whack. And this lion, this textbook example, the most boring lion, and it's sad because you guys know lions are cool, and this shouldn't be uncool the way it is. In one solid blow, not only goes flying back into the clearing. As soon as it hits the fresh grass, this time you guys hear a very intense growl, a blur of movement from the two animals, and the lion is in pieces within the clearing for a few seconds before disappearing entirely. And then the blur returns to the center and the two animals are there once again.
Do we have a clear path? Do we have a clear path to those animals, or are there other animals competing?
Oh, they're all surrounding, but that punch from a troll, Chimera are themselves. They're not always stupid. So they have cleared a path and are staring at you all.
And Luxie's going to walk up to Elmer and say, look, I'm fast. I've got stamina. You want to give me one of them things? I'll run in.
I just have the feather, but I am also quite quick.
Whoever's got the other piece, if you're not, I do not mind running in.
Oh,
I already started making my way. Like, if you're in stride with me.
Verity waves everyone on. Like,
also, Elmer, you feel something clamber up your back as Gus then wraps his two paws around and is just holding on like a bulldog backpack. Because you can tell he is not comfortable with the Dream Eaters around.
We should stay together, all of us.
Who's got the claw?
There's a path. There is a path.
I think I handed a claw to Carlos because he wanted to look at it.
if you don't stop walking, I'm going to carry you.
Carlos is going to he's leading.
Oh, I'm going straight through. I got that.
All right.
I'm on my little hooves. I'm going.
You all cross the clearing border, and the coyote and the eagle do not attack you. Although they both look up as you enter and approach up to them. The eagle seems defeated. You're not even sure how. The coyote seems tired, exhausted, really. It has bags under its eyes. You didn't know coyotes could get those. They both seem tired and worn out. Their eyes aren't even open fully. It's as if you're waking them from a deep sleep. But they both look... And the eagle just gives a small sigh. The coyote looks up and says, "And what the hell do all of you want?" And that's where we'll end this episode of Queen's Gambit.
Yeah,
everyone.
I think that was going. I felt it.
I want to first extend a big thank you to all of my lovely players here. This crew is absolute buffoonery, and I love it. And they've gotten half of their task complete. They have located the spirits. Now just to see what they need to get them out. But yes, thank you all so very much for, if I can speak, for tuning into this lovely madness. And I hope to prepare even more madness for the next episode. I was not given an outro proper, Shanky. I'm sorry.
There is no Shanky, only Zool.
Zool. Yes, thank you. Okay. Well, all the same, Zool. Either way, I don't have an outro, so I'm not sure what else to say.
You'll have one for next week. Don't worry. I'll write you one just because you said that.
Thank you so much.
Zool says, join us on our Discord. That's where you get to see. And the bot. No, it worked for me. Didn't work for Mama.
Sexist ass bot.
Yep. Please, Zool says, join us on our Discord. That's where we cast the entire Queen's Gambit from. We also cast all of our shows from the Discord. And even if you don't want to be part of the cast of these shows, hang out with everybody. We've got a good community. We try to support each other. We talk a lot of shit, talk a lot of games, have a lot of fun. So join us on the Discord. Plus, when we can, we do community hangouts on Zoom, which is rather difficult to do here lately because we got Friday and Saturday night streams. It kind of makes it tough to do Zoom hangouts that last till 2 a.m. when, it's difficult, Let's see. Pop over to our YouTube. Check out our YouTube and catch our back episodes, not just the Queen's Gambit, but dear God, we've got pretty much all the World of Darkness. The only thing we don't have yet is Mummy, but don't worry. I'm sure it'll show up eventually.
Mummy? Sorry.
Yeah. No, Mummy is Verity. Verity's everyone's mummy now. Just saying.
Muscle mummy, as we've all seen.
Just saying. Plus, we got a lot of independent games. We love our indie games too. And if you want to see Call of Cthulhu or D&D 5e, you pop over to the Ishvel channel. That's our wonderful keeper of arcane lore, who is at various percentages of humans depending on the week. That's Dr. Tess. So check that out. If you want to get some studio merch, pop over to our Zazzle store, get you some merch. Hey, we've got merch. That's all I'm going to say. We don't really make money on the merch. So, you want to get it, get it. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. If you want to see some amazing content creator, check out our friends list. One of them right over there, Carlos. What you got going on?
Let's see. This Sunday, Call of Cthulhu Mask of Nyarlathotep continues, so you should definitely check that out. And our group is trying to get to London, so we'll see if they succeed there. And then on Tuesday, Arcane Veils, our mages get to do cool stuff. They're trying to find a node, so we'll see if they can succeed at that.
There you go. Cthulhu down there, you got anything going on that you want to plug right now?
So it's not till next Sunday, but I will be in a Call of Cthulhu campaign over at Enchanting Sorcery Productions. And then obviously here on Friday again.
Oh, cool.
One more time.
Sykeshire, we know where they can find you right here.
Yes, right here. I do all of any of the TTRPG games. I do you guys. The only other thing I stream is Helldivers, Mass Effect, all kinds of video games like that, and my crazy, insane self. And a real satyr part of me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you can put your link right in chat because can Aaron. Because we both have you all are VIPs, so you can do that.
Snap! I feel honored.
House, you got anything going on?
Just a few streams I'm on here between Demon and Changeling and Vampire back in 2025.
Yeah, we'll get back to Kansas City. Don't worry. And of course, Beetle Spock, let everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, I have a few things in DM's Guild that I contribute for third-party D&D content. I'm still looking for more projects since that's always fun to do. And also I'm in Dark Ages, Vampire Dark Ages, which is coming back next year as well.
Yeah, we'll be back for that too. Good Lord. So much stuff going on here. So much stuff going on. Plus, you can catch out Junie Von Esch. She's the Chicago Hidden City storyteller and the werewolf storyteller for Queen's Gambit. You can pop over to her channel. Ravnos Archon, the troublemaker. He's got his own channel, but he's also in Demon. You'll find him in Queen's Gambit as the Mage ST and in Wraith as I Punish Him. Hard.
Yeah.
And you can also find him eventually going to run another Mage Chronicle here. Eventually. And of course, Mischievous Red, which she's in Wraith. She's going to be a Mage. She's in Kansas City. She's in Demon. Dear God, we love her some Red apparently around here. So pop over to her channel too. She streams when she can. If you want to support the players, so bits and donations that go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way for you to give to the players to help them out. Because, look, everybody's got costumes on and shit. That's not Maddox's everyday wear. He normally wears tie-dye, so he has to buy special clothes for stream.
Actually, it is my everyday wear. I wear more than what you all see me.
Nope. I'm going to stick with the headcanon is you only wear tie-dye.
Tie-dye.
Yep, that's my headcanon. And
I don't mind
that is Sykeshire's everyday wear right there. Every day.
Y'all, I'd be so dangerous if it was. We're glad
And if
it's
you want to support the
not.
studio, pop over to our coffee. Hey, there you go. Thanks for posting your link, Beetlespock. Pop over to our coffee. That's how you support the studio. You can subscribe on Twitch. If you've got Prime, you can use that. At least if you subscribe on Twitch, they may take half, but you get rid of the ads. Because ads suck, especially on TTRPGs, because you miss a whole section of the game every time an ad pops up. That really sucks. And, money's tight, especially we're going into the holidays. So a free way to support the studios, go over to YouTube, like the videos, comment on the videos, subscribe to the channel. All that shit helps drive up our engagement, which means more people find our stuff, which means, we make a couple pennies more. Trust me, we're not making bank off of YouTube. Dear God, we're not. For the schedule this week, there is no Call of Cthulhu tomorrow because they're on their 2-week break. So there's no stream tomorrow at 3, but there is Chicago Hidden City at 8 p.m. Eastern, where you'll see.
Check this out.
Yeah, you'll see Carlos and the storyteller here, along with Junie Von Esch as, all hell breaks loose. And yeah, it's something. It's crazy. You want to catch that. And then, of course, Wednesday, Demon the Fallen, episode 2 of our 3rd season. They're out in L.A. What can go wrong with a bunch of demons hanging out in L.A.? Nothing at all.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, nothing at all. They met a very
Definitely
nice
not the
guy who
end
calls
times.
himself Scratch, and he's nothing but pleasant and nice to everybody. So, I mean, it should be fine. Should be fine. And if I'm wearing anything just for you, Ravenous Archon, I'm in the maid's outfit, okay? Just for you. Because we know how you like the French maid's outfit. Just saying. And then, of course, next Friday, we're back for the 2nd episode of The Changelings. We'll see what storyteller Maddox has in store. Hey, I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen. I mean, he let him heal aggravated wounds. What kind of storyteller lets him heal aggravated wounds?
I didn't heal all the aggravated wounds.
Yeah.
I still got one, I think.
That was just one of my 4 bruised levels. Who cares?
Fucking trolls.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little pain.
That's right.
Take a little pain.
Why heal it? Just leave it for him. Hook him up.
Yes, and feel that burn.
And
Just saying.
as always, everybody, I have to say this at the end of every stream. Mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take your mental health seriously and take the mental health of others seriously. Okay, check in on those around you, your friends, family, loved ones, people you kind of associate with. If you haven't heard from them in a while, check in on them, make sure they're okay, because, hey, a lot of people aren't, and they hide it real well. And if you suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, myself included, reach out to those around you. But I understand there's a stigma that should not be attached to it that is, and you may not feel comfortable reaching out to those around you. So in chats, a list of numbers, you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There'll be a professional on the other end of the line to help you out. And if you are in crisis, I 100% want you to reach out to one of those lifelines. Those professionals are there if you're in crisis to help you out, okay? And if you're not in the U.S. or you watch this on YouTube, you can go to findahelpline.com and put in your country and find out support lines in your country, because mental health is health. We want you to take care of yourselves. That's very important. And since Mama's not here, I'm going to say get your shots for her. Get your boosters, get your damn shots, get it over with, knock it out, move on. That way you got them covered. And make sure you're registered to vote. Check on your registration. You're getting close enough now that if you got deregistered and you didn't realize it, you're screwed. Because, we're getting to the cutoff for registrations. So double check your stuff. And if you've got a ballot and your state allows you to check on your ballot, make sure that your ballot is not been mailed in, because there's some shenanigans have been going on the last few days where some illegal ballots have been sent in. Some people have had their ballots swiped, filled in for them, and mailed in already. Yeah. There's been a couple press conferences about that. It's getting caught, but it also means people are getting screwed. So please check your ballots and make sure you vote for the party that believes in a person's right to choose what to do with their own body, that believes in the rights of human beings, doesn't try to ban books, and aren't a bunch of fascist assholes. I mean, it's that simple. So I normally don't tell you who to vote for, but we're getting awful close. God damn it, vote blue. I mean, the fascism's out of control. Got to vote blue and deal with this. So, and please, yes, as John mentions in chat, please vote against Ted Cruz. Cancun Cruz needs to go, just in general. Get rid of him. And I do thank everyone for coming tonight. Please have a good week and a good weekend, and we will see you next time. Good night, everybody.